All right, here's a question for you. When it's leg day and you don't want to do legs because your whole body hurts, knees hurt, back hurts, hips hurt, whatever is hurting on you. Right now, for me, it's all the above. So in those days, what do you do? Do you not do legs or do you figure out some way to push past it? So that's today's workout. I actually had some other stuff planned, but like I said, just not feeling it today. And you don't want to skip leg day, as they say, not trying to rhyme. But it's a good opportunity to show you some different things that I do when I'm in this situation because, as the saying goes, the worst workout is better than no workout. So this isn't going to be a bad workout. It's still going to be a great workout, but going to have to just do what I can do. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I do to warm up quads, hamstrings using bands that you can actually integrate into your own workout if you want. A lot of people ask me, how do you do leg extensions with bands? How do you do leg curls with bands? Which happen to be some of my favorite pieces of equipment in a gym. For the most part, what I have in here is perfect for me, but there are a couple pieces of machines that I do really enjoy, and those are two of them. So this mimics that. The only thing we need is a set of resistance bands and then some ankle straps. So these are just have a nice padded inside Velcro with the steel loops. This brand right here, someone I know, they make this. The brand is Punisher. I've showed you their stuff before. They make wrist straps, belts, etc. So they sent me a cool care package. So I'm going to use these. And all you do, cinch that up. Now, I've done these same moves without the ankle strap, so you can do it. This makes it a whole lot easier. So I've doubled the band up around my ankle. That's so-so. It does have a tendency to slide up and down your leg a little bit. Believe it or not, one of the tricks that I've tried that works pretty well is actually taking my foot out of my shoe, looping the band underneath the arch of my foot and putting my shoe back on, and that locks the band in. So works. Probably not the best way to do it, but again, it works. So, with that being said, you could come in here and loop the band through the steel loop. I don't like doing that because that does tear up your bands. So that's where I like to use this one component from the Undersun Universal Anchoring System. It's nice for any kind of exercise like this. So it's got the nice neoprene padding on the inside, the steel loops with a carabiner. So I can attach the band just like so. And then I can attach that to this. And you can use this for handles, whatever you want. So leg curls. Doing these standing. I've tried so many different versions of this, trying sitting in a chair, anchoring them to things. I found this to be a really easy way to come in and work those hamstrings. So it's not quite a full range of motion, but it's good enough. So stepping on that band is our anchor point, locking that knee right next to our other leg. You want to try to keep that knee in one spot. And curl up, and that is a super strong contraction. So I lose tension right about here. That's what I was saying, kind of a partial. So all the way up, come back down, stop just before you lose tension. So I'm doing this just to kind of get the blood flowing here, but this is a great exercise if you actually want to incorporate this into a routine. Do a couple sets of these. It's a very, very strong contraction. For a warm-up, I should have actually gone a lot lighter than this. It doesn't take much. And you know what? Might as well just turn this into a full exercise. So take the other one, attach that. And that's the nice thing about this band attachment is it's just really easy to switch back and forth. If you were doing what's called a lark knot with the band, it honestly is a pain in the ass switching back and forth because you've got to undo that knot every single time and then attach it to the other side, and it's just a hassle. Whereas this is just clip and go. Same thing. Stand on that band. Lock the knee next to your other leg. You definitely want to try to keep that knee in one spot though. You have to be disciplined with your technique because you don't have a bench or anything to brace against. 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, that is a nice contraction. So we don't need to rest here because we're already resting this leg as we're doing the opposite. So let's keep our momentum here. Honestly, I just want to rip through this workout today. Four. Really focus on that squeeze at the top, that little small isometric contraction. 8. 10. Whew. You see how easy it is to switch back and forth with that anchoring system. I was always looking for just a real practical solution to anchoring bands. I thought of all these complicated ideas. And this one was just kind of the most simple, but effective. So you hear people talk about full range of motion, full range of motion. That's been the trend the last couple of years. Everyone preaching full range of motion. Then it got super stupid where everyone started talking about these really extreme ranges of motion. Look, partial range of motion can be super effective. Not everything has to be full range of motion. And if you try these, you'll notice it's a strong contraction in that last half of the range of motion. Now, it doesn't mean you always want to do it this way. You know, I do believe in taking a muscle through full range of motion, joints through full range of motion, but it doesn't mean it has to be every single exercise. And you can see the hamstring really contract. And if you've never seen it before, you'll see that big tear in my quad. It's where they had to cut through the muscle to put a screw through there to attach that rod in my femur when I shattered my femur. So I got that ugly looking bump there. So anytime I start to get a pump in the muscle, all that fluid starts to push through there and pushes that thing out. I've always hated it, but it is what it is. Big hematoma looking thing. one more. That was nice. So, quads. Out of all the different things I've tried for quads, same thing, anchoring it to stuff, sitting on benches. This one, it's actually just came to me one day. It's pretty simple. Spin this around so that the steel loops are back there. You gotta probably grab hold of something, grab the band, come right over the top of the shoulder. Now, if you feel the band start to dig into your shoulder, you can always throw like a towel over your shoulder, just a little bit of padding. But same concept here, we want to keep our knee close to our other knee, one disciplined spot, and you squeeze down. And with this narrow band, as opposed to like a heavier resistance, definitely is cutting into my shoulder, so show you what that looks like. Throw that towel right over your shoulder, just like that. Six, 7, 8. Notice I'm really focusing on that squeeze right here. 9, nice isometric. 10. I'm gonna do a few more. This is not a lot of resistance. Make up for it with a little bit more volume. 14, 15. Not bad. Not bad at all. So again, switch the loop to the backside. Four, 5, 7, 8. They start off easy, but they'll start to sneak up on you. One more. So I'm going to increase the resistance, but one of the cool things about doing this the way I am, I can adjust my grip on this band. The closer I grab towards that anchor point, the more I'm shortening the band, more tension I'm creating. So I can literally adjust the tension almost on the fly. But it's a little light. So again, one of the nice things about these anchors, just unclip one side, band comes off. Let's try something a little heavier. Just like so, but we gotta switch to the other side. So we'll do 2 more sets of these, and then I'm gonna do some light stretching try to loosen everything up before we do any kind of squatting movement. Mainly just because my body's feeling pretty stiff right now. Not exactly cooperating with me. All right. Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and let some of that band loose a little bit, lighten up the tension. Like I said, adjust on the fly. Feels about right. Eight, 9, 10, 11. Now, for anyone who's worried that you can't create enough resistance with the bands, trust me, you can. Not only can I go up to a heavier band, but the nice thing about the way this anchor loop works, I can stack multiple bands in there. And when you're setting up for this, don't try to pull your leg up. The easiest way is bend your knee, then adjust your band. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll show you what I mean with adding more resistance. So let me switch legs first. Now we just grab our other band, open up one side of our band loop. We just add the second one in there. Easy peasy. Just like that. See how this feels. Honestly, more resistance than I need. More doing it just to show you. See how it feels. Feels hard, that's how it feels. So I'm going to let some of that slack out. Make it a little easier. There we go. So I have another set of ankle straps. One that doesn't just go around the ankle, it also goes under the foot. So your heel kind of sits in it. That would actually probably work really well for this. And that way you don't have the band, or not the band, but the ankle strap moving up and down your ankle. But the best thing you can do is just make sure that this is nice and tight as you can get it. so it doesn't move. All right, last one here. Six, 7, 8, 9, one more. Oh. Yeah, I actually think I see one of those. I'll grab one, show you what I'm talking about. I think that's this guy right here. So you see pretty much the same thing, but it just has the extra little loop that can go underneath your foot. So that would probably work really well for this as another option. But this gets the job done. And like I said, if you don't have these, you could even do it underneath your heel, inside your shoe. That was the first way that I did these. Said I tried doing it around my ankle, but the band was kind of moving up and down my ankle a little bit, removing some hair off my ankles. But I'll show you what I mean with the shoe. So all I did is just pulled my heel out. Let me take this off. So I just came right under the heel, just like that, and then put my shoe on. And then the heel of your shoe locks it in place. Now I gotta put my shoe back on. Good excuse to sit down. Exactly what I tell you not to do between your sets. No sitting, no resting. You gotta keep it moving here. All right. Now, got a little bit of blood flowing. We're going to move into some compound movements. Put this back. I'm going to show you a variation of a split squat. And I've been doing this stuff for a long time and kind of come up with my own way of doing exercises. And every once in a while, though, someone that I showed something to, they turn around and find their variation of it and improve upon it. And so this is one that an Undersun tribe member, so Undersun band, his name is David Bradshear. He does this variation, which I like. So instead of doubling the band up and then grabbing low towards your foot to create tension here at the beginning, because if we grab high like this, then we have no tension here at the beginning of the movement. So I'll grab low on the band, but then you have to rely a little bit on grip strength. So we're going to do a David Bradshear variation, which I thought was pretty slick. Simple but effective. So all he did is come across the shoulders like we would in a regular front squat with bands, but then holding the band underneath his arm just like yay, or you can come up here. For me, I don't like the band riding up on my neck, so I'll actually grab the band here just to keep it away from my neck there. And then we can do them just like so. And the nice thing about this is we can add a lot of resistance here. The other one is really reliant on our grip strength, but now that we're putting that across our shoulders. Don't have to worry about it as much. Now, just like I was talking about over here, you can stack bands as well. Just like you would stack plates on a bar, we can do the same thing with bands. And it's the thing about a set of bands. 5 bands isn't just 5 levels of resistance. One, variable resistance, how much I stretch that band, creates different resistance levels. And then stacking different bands together creates even more resistance levels. So crazy thing is, with just 5 bands, I used to say, you can create a whole resistance or a whole dumbbell, rack worth of resistance. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like a combination lock, right? A combination lock that only has 4 digits on there. Well, it may only be 4 digits, but every single combination adds up to a lot of variations. Okay. All right, so split squat. One. Now we really want to slow down that eccentric, nice controlled concentric push, and we can make these even harder. More time under tension. Really think about squeezing everything, contracting those muscles. Don't just rely on the resistance to do it. Use that mind-muscle connection. One more. Now, when you get into compound movements like this, doing these unilateral, one side at a time, theoretically, yes, I could go to the other leg immediately. The only difference is this requires a lot more oxygen, so we get winded. So you do need a little bit of a recovery period. Catch your breath, recover just for a second before doing the other side. Just enough time to grab some water, stretch out those hamstrings. Oh, man. All right, now we're going to do the other side. Yeah. All right. Everyone probably has a different method for setting up. First thing I like to make sure is that the bands are under the arch of my foot, not under my toe. If they're under your toe as you squat up, it's going to have a tendency to pull your toe up. And we use our toes for balance. So when you unweight your toe, have a tendency to lose your balance. So right under the arch, and then I'll kneel down and get the band in position. Make sure you get that all the way across your shoulders. So out of all the injuries that I have, lower body, the one that seems to get aggravated the most is I broke my hip in a car accident. Same time I broke my femurs. So just a lot of scar tissue. And so that one really gets me. And that makes it hard to do a lot of squats, especially when you are using free weights. The nice thing about the bands is I'm able to work through that and still get a good workout. But if it was, my only option was come in here and say do, bar squats or something, no way, I'd be opting out. Just no way. Not on a day like today. All right, let's do a light quad stretch. Like even that bothers me when they put the titanium rods, they call them femoral nails, inside my femur. There's 2 screws down here, and one of them goes all the way out the other side, and it pokes out just the tip of that screw. And so the tendon sits there and rubs on it. And sometimes that thing gets agitated and it just kills me. So right now, I'm like a fucking mess, but we're here, we're doing it. That's all it counts. Do what you can do. Don't cry like a little bitch. I'm talking to myself. And that is exactly what I say to myself. Don't be a little bitch, James. Just do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right. Back to the left leg. All right. Again, control that rep speed. Makes it a whole lot harder. And that's how we make up for not using as much resistance. Although, trust me, you could stack a bunch of these bands together and make this hard as hell. All right, stretch out that hamstring. And we'll move right back into the right side. When I'm having those kind of days, whether it's a physical thing or a mental thing, let's be real about it. We'll have those days where you get bogged down with bullshit and you just lose your mojo and don't feel like doing it. You don't have to go in there first set guns blazing. Most important thing is getting into it, starting that first set of that first exercise. And that's what I tell myself when I don't want to do it. Just go in there, just tell myself, do the first set. When we do the first set, it leads to the second set. And then pretty soon you build momentum. And next thing you know, you're fucking done with the workout. So don't overthink it. Just get in there and start. Otherwise, you end up with paralysis from overanalysis. You just end up thinking about it too much. Just get in and start doing. 3 more. So from an intensity standpoint, is this my hardest workout? No. But like I said, any workout is better than no workout. Go in and keep trying to push yourself. Maybe start off easy and just tell yourself, all right, next set I'll do it a little harder. Next set, I'll try to do it a little harder. Just try to work up to it. Good stuff. One more set of these. We're almost done on a workout I didn't even want to do. I'm actually going to bump up the intensity a little. Now, when I'm stacking bands like this, it's not always easy to control because the band sometimes moves around on you. If possible, I like to take the wider band and put it on the bottom as a base. It's more comfortable across your shoulders. Doesn't really matter that much, but give it a try. Ooh, getting sweaty here. Band's slipping all over the place. Oh, yeah. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, there's slight variations you can do with this. Talked about before. If I narrow my stance from front foot to back foot, and I come out more over the toe and get more movement at the knee, becomes a little more quad dominant. If I widen my stance, press back more through my heel, try to get more movement at the hip, then it becomes a little more hamstring glute dominant. It's no different with squats. You can do the same thing. You can do low bar squats, really drive through the heel. It's a lot of, looks more like a powerlifter's technique. You can put a wedge under your heel to elevate your heels. His knees come out more over the toes, more movement at the knee, becomes a little more quad dominant. Same concept. All right, we got the last side here. When you're done, make sure you wipe your bands down. Wipe all that sweat off of them. All that salt in your sweat ends up prematurely wearing your bands out. So just a damp cloth, no chemicals. Just wipe them down. I learned that lesson the hard way, training at the beach all the time. All that salt air, salt water, not to mention sweat. All right. Oh, yeah. Why do I feel like I did this leg already? But I think I always start on my left. So I think I'm doing this right. If not, the right leg is going to get a hell of a workout today. Six. 8. 9. One more. Man, I don't know. We'll have to go back and look at the tape on that one. Good stuff. I'm tempted to throw another exercise in, but I'm going to try to play it smart here since I was already feeling banged up. We're going to stick that. I mean, that's pretty thorough, front to back, as far as quads versus hamstrings versus glutes. So we did our leg curl in the beginning for hamstrings, leg extensions for quads. Came and did those lunges, which has slightly more of a focus on glute hamstring, but also quads. You could do some calf raises if you wanted to. I'm going to opt out today, but I'm going to pop on the floor here and knock out some abs real quick. Some very basic crunches, just focusing on constant tension, so not resting at the bottom, and controlled rep speeds. So resting at the bottom would be letting my head and my shoulders rest on the ground. So I'm going to always stop short where I've got good tension throughout the whole thing. So squeezing up, isometric, controlled eccentric. Constant tension the whole time. Abs are contracted. Gonna make it harder. I'm not gonna be able to do as many reps. That's okay. Like I always say, it's quality over quantity. I don't care how many you can do. I care about how good a quality they are, how good a contraction you get, how hard do you work the muscle. That's what counts. Your muscle doesn't care how many reps you did. We're gonna sit up, take advantage of being on the floor, do a hamstring stretch. I can tell you one good thing about having these kind of days where you don't want to work out. It's when you finish, there's a little bit of extra sense of accomplishment in it. It's just like anything else in life. If it were easy, it wouldn't be as rewarding. And I always say that working out is just as much mental as it is physical. And there's definitely that strong mental element when you're not feeling it, when you're tired, stressed, distracted, or in pain. It's so easy to just opt out and not do the workout. And so when you do it and you push past that and make yourself do something that you know you should do, even when you don't want to do it, there's definitely that sense of accomplishment. That's a victory right there. That is a victory in the battle of you versus you. Almost done here. One more set, and we're out of here for the day. We'll be back here tomorrow for a shoulder workout. I think out of all workouts, shoulders is probably one of my favorites. It's not too strenuous, but that's not why it's not my favorite. Although that does make it fun. But there's something really satisfying getting a really good shoulder pump because it really does transform your physique. So if you want to make your physique look good, probably the two easiest things you can do, and I'm not saying they're easy, but build big shoulders and work on trimming your waist. Get that nice shape. And then you add to that nice lats, get that V taper, and of course you start stacking on top of it. You know, arms, shoulders, all that, or not shoulders, but chest. But that kind of like basic shape starts at the shoulders to waist. I'm gonna do two more. That's a wrap. Nice. So make sure you finish off your workout, take the time, stretch, really loosen up. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Shoulders.